Well, don't be shocked. I'm here. I made it on this Palm Sunday. I know I've kind of been uh, kind of out of the loop for a while, just because I've just been busy with the things that we do here. And anyway, this is Reverend Sam with Living in Love and Grace. And so I'm really excited about what we've got going on here. Um, but here we are, Palm Sunday. I don't know if you celebrate Palm Sunday, or if you don't, that's okay. Whatever you do, that's great. Some people look at it as celebrating Easter and the newness of Easter and all the things that go along with that. There are religions all over the world that celebrate the beginning of spring, and I just love when I study all that and look through that. I'm always excited about what I see that people do in other religions and other faiths. But as a Christian, we're here on Palm Sunday, getting ready to go into Holy Week. And I don't know what that means to you, but I didn't grow up in a liturgical church where we engaged in we went from Palm Sunday to Good Friday to Easter, but we didn't look at it in terms of the whole week, Holy Week. And so over the last decade, I've kind of incorporated that into my own faith journey, and I love it. I love this time of year. It's always been my favorite time of the year, and it's time to celebrate. But so anyway, I want to start off just like I always do with Living in Love and Grace, and that's reading from 1 Corinthians 13. And that's always kind of where I want to go. If I speak with human eloquence and angelic ecstasy, but don't have love, I have nothing but the creaking. I am nothing but the creaking of a rusty gate. If I speak God's word with power, revealing all his mysteries and making everything plain as day, and if I have faith to say to a mountain, jump, and it jumps, but I don't have love, I am nothing. If I give everything I own to the poor, and even go to the table or go to the stake to be burned as a martyr, but I don't love, I've gotten nowhere. So, no matter what I say, what I believe, what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut. Love doesn't have a swelled head. Love doesn't force itself on others. Love isn't always me first. Love doesn't fly off the handle. Love doesn't keep score of the sins of others. Love doesn't revel when others grovel. Love takes pleasure in the flowering of truth. Love puts up with anything, trusts God always, always looks for the best, never looks back, and keeps going to the very end. We have three things to do to lead us toward that consummation: trust steadily in God, hope unswervingly, love extravagantly, and the best of all three is love. That is from the Inclusive Bible. So if you're looking for a really kind of cool progressive translation or of the Bible, I would encourage you to get one. And I have one right here, the Inclusive Bible. It weighs about 4 pounds, and so I like it. It's really cool. It's really fresh, and it really speaks to my heart. So I think I paid like $30 on Amazon. So for a paperback, that's pretty expensive, but I was really happy to find it. And so I would encourage you to pick that up. Palm Sunday. So usually right now we've gone through December and January and February. I hated February. February was so bitter cold here in Colorado. And there's nothing more exciting than when we anticipate the spring that it's coming. So the story we read this time of the year is the story of Jesus entering into Jerusalem, and one that we always refer to as Palm Sunday. But we read in the story that people laid out palms and on the road, and Jesus rode this this donkey into Jerusalem. In the Gospel of Luke, it doesn't even mention palms. So which is kind of odd because we make it Palm Sunday. And in Luke, Jesus' entry wasn't even some big thing. And so we think of it more in terms of what it is than what it really turns out to be. So it's something to really think about. And I really want to encourage you to be aware of that in your own life. But maybe that's just as well. It wasn't some huge event in history. A lot of pastors, a lot of preachers wax eloquent about Palm Sunday and Jesus riding into Jerusalem. But I like to look at it this way. It's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. It was a humble thing. Jesus riding in on a donkey. Kind of an embarrassment if you were on the parade planning committee. Jesus coming in on a simple donkey. It would have been a big event had he rode in on a chariot with some huge, majestic horses or something, or an army leading him in, but it was a pretty simple event. I kind of look at it this way. Maybe this is exactly what Jesus preferred anyway, more than some grand entry into Jerusalem. In fact, I kind of think it was more like a funeral procession. Remember the last week, Jesus is on his way into Jerusalem. He's going to be put to death for not playing by the rules of the religious leaders and political leaders of his time. Don't play by the rules, and it could cost you your life. So, especially when you read the Gospel of Luke, Jesus is bringing about a profound change in the hearts and minds of the people. He sent them out and said, "Get me a donkey for the procession." He didn't even need a big crowd. Just a small band of his disciples would be enough. Lay some stuff on the cloaks on the road. Just a simple procession. But the change was happening. Jesus said simply this way, "My kingdom is not of this world." Kingdom wasn't even of this place. The kingdom is in the hearts of people. It's in our hearts today. We just forget. It's not about worldly structures. It's not about cathedrals and steeples and sanctuaries. It's about the hearts and minds of people. Jesus put it this way: if the people were quiet, the stones themselves would cry out. Here's the key to that. that Jesus was, and we should be so connected into the web of love and peace, so connected to creation and so connected to one another that we're in sync. Love becomes the foundation and the motivation and the gasoline of everything that we do, like a promise. This was Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. There was no CNN, there was no Fox, nobody knew about it. There was no reporters on the side of the road. Just simple people laying their coats on the road, crying out, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord." That's it. So what happens when Jesus comes into our world? I kind of look at it this way. There's two things that happen. One, when Jesus comes into the chaos of our world, there's a calming peace that happens in our lives when we finally connect with Jesus. And it always seems that Jesus comes into our world, crashes into our world, invades our world in the midst of the drumbeat of violence, bigotry, hatred, prejudice. And I could get angry and I can fight and I admire and stand by the protesters and the social justice warriors. I pray for them. I lift them up because they're speaking prophetically, speaking words of truth. They look at our society and they become prophets. Not prophets of doom, but prophets of justice, prophets of love, prophets of goodness. So there's a new way. Jesus brought in a new way. He welcomed in a new way into this old wilderness. And he looked at society at the time, and we can relate some of this even now. And he spoke from the top down. And think of how we are in our society now. We have the fear of the other person, of them. We look at them and we're afraid of them. We look at them and we judge them and criticize them. We take our Bibles and we throw Bible verses at them because we have a fear of the unknown. We're afraid of losing our power. We're afraid of losing our voice. We're afraid of losing the things that we might want. We're afraid of those that are different from us, who love different, who love someone of a different race, of the same sex, who politically think different than we do. We're afraid of them. And we want to put up those walls and those barriers because we're afraid of them. We're afraid of the future because I might not be a part of that. I might not be able to capitalize on the future. And so into that world, into this world, Jesus comes crashing in, riding on a humble donkey. He didn't go to Jerusalem's biggest synagogue. He didn't go to some mega synagogue. He didn't go partner up with some mega priest or some political some guy on his political high horse. He rode a simple donkey. To me, it smacks of Jesus riding into our world in a worn out, beat up old Volkswagen Bug. See, he didn't come in with a promise. He didn't come with a promise to make things better. He didn't have a make Jerusalem great again hat on. But instead, he came in with this simple promise, a promise of peace, a promise that people would experience and understand and find the kingdom of God within them. And that's where I want you to be this week, looking for the way of peace. Frederick Buechner wrote, "Peace in heaven and on earth is what the procession and the shouting are all about. That is what all our singing and worshiping and preaching and praying is all about, if they are about anything that matters. The hope that finally, by the grace of God, the impossible will happen. The hope that Pilate will take him by one hand and Caiaphas by the other, and the Roman soldiers will throw down their spears, and the Sanhedrin of that day would bow their heads and their hearts. The hope that by the power of the Spirit, by the love of Jesus, who is also the Lord of the impossible, the leaders of the enemy nations would draw back, while there is still time for drawing back from a vision terrible to name. The hope that you and I also, each in our own puny but crucial way, will work and witness and pray for things that make peace, true peace, both in our lives and the lives and the life of this land. Despair and hope. Is that what you're feeling right now? Travel the road to Jerusalem. Travel with Jesus. Ride the donkey. Hope in the King. Hope in the Prince of Peace. It's a great hope. It goes well. It's well worth all of our singing and dancing, all the little psalms or little palms that we lay. It was the end of him, of Jesus, but it was the mystery and the majesty of his love for this world, for you and I. Blessed be the rider of the donkey. Blessed be the rider of the donkey. I hope this message blessed you today. It's not a long one, but I wanted to get on and share some thoughts about Palm Sunday and encourage you today. And so thank you for being here. I hope you have a great Palm Sunday, a great Holy Week. I'll be on throughout the week sharing messages each day, hoping that I'll encourage you and lift you up and that you'll find some hope in that. I also want to remind you that so we're kind of working on organizing Live in Love and Grace more as a ministry. And so any time that you want to share with us, we're always glad. Share this message, put it out so that people will hear this good word and be encouraged and strengthened. If you want to support financially, there's the address, Venmo at Rev Sam Lopez. Feel free to share and support this ministry and keep me going, and I will do my best to get on here daily. I hope you're blessed. You're blessed by the word, blessed by the encouragement. So I want to read the Forever Love Commitment, which I do every day. I want you to know that I'm committed to you. You will never knowingly suffer at my hands. I will never say or do anything knowingly to hurt you. I'll always, in every circumstance, seek to help you and support you. If you're down and I can lift you up, I will do that. Anything that I have that you need, I will share it with you. And if need be, I will even give it to you. No matter what I find out about you, no matter what happens in the future, either good or bad, my commitment to you will never change. And there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have to respond. I love you. That's what that means. Well, thank you for being with me today and sharing in this very special day on Palm Sunday. I hope you have a blessed Palm Sunday. Don't forget to share the video out there. I know it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, and a couple places, but please feel free to share that. Living in Love and Grace with Reverend Sam Lopez. And I hope you have a wonderful day and have an amazing, amazing Holy Week. God bless you. And if you need anything, I'm always just an email, a phone call, a text away. God bless. Bye.